Hello and welcome to Hamer Reviews. My name is Christopher Hamer and today I'd like to take a closer look at solid state storage as well as the Sabrent Rocket Q NVMe SSD. Now I've made videos on hard drives before, but this time I'd specifically like to look at solid state storage. Now, I don't know about you, but I frequently run out of storage on my Mac, which is my main device that I use, for instance, to edit these videos. And as a result, I frequently find myself trying to find the most cost-effective way of adding high-speed storage to that device. Now, I've used various different methods in the past. One of them is to use a cheap 2.5-inch hard drive enclosure and Samsung SSDs. Now, this is actually a 2.5-inch form factor. It is the 860 EVO, and I believe this will get you up to around 550 megabytes per second. That's been perfectly ample, and I've actually been using this as my media drive, so to speak. At the moment, this retails for around £250 on Amazon, and the case that I've used here is a fairly cheap UGREEN one, which I think cost me around £20 at the time. It's USB-C compliant, so I can get the full speed from that SSD, but that's pretty much all there is to say about it. Now, the thing is that I've also reviewed on this channel before the Sabrent Rocket Nano. Now, this is a Thunderbolt 3 compliant SSD, and it uses an extremely small form factor NAND flash inside this little case, and this will get you up to 1000 megabytes per second. That is extremely fast, and it's a great way of storing data. The issue I have with it is that it's actually a lot more expensive. A 2 terabyte version of this SSD, I think, costs around £300+, so it's not a cheap way to get external storage. It's also very small, and I think it's meant more as sort of a memory stick replacement than as an external daily drive, so I don't really want to use that. The thing is, I actually really like Sabrent. I think the products they make are very good, and I think they're fairly good quality, and they certainly have a good warranty. So I was having a look at some of the other SSDs, such as the Samsung ones, Western Digital, and I came across this. The Sabrent Rocket Q 2 terabyte NVMe SSD. Now, this SSD is really interesting. You're getting close to 2000 megabytes per second if you have it in the right system, so the actual speeds you can get are fantastic. Of course, having a Mac Mini 2018, there's no way for me to replace the hard drive on there, which is a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. So I needed a way of essentially connecting this to the computer. And UGREEN, once again, came to the rescue. They make this very cheap USB-C enclosure, which costs about £40, which allows me to get a lot of the speed from this SSD. I'm certainly getting around 1000 plus megabytes per second, which is really, really good. Being an NVMe SSD, it does get quite hot, so the enclosure will get very warm as you're using it. But I think it's a really cost-effective way of getting that extra storage. The reason I say that is that the enclosure, again, cost me around £30 this time, but the SSD was only £220. I think that's a completely acceptable price for 2 terabytes of storage. If you bear in mind that if you get the sort of all-in-one enclosure, you're looking at 300 plus, and the 2.5-inch drives are clearly costing 10+% more over an NVMe SSD, plus the extra speed you get, it's kind of a no-brainer. If you're a gamer, you have a big media library, it's a faster way of getting to your files, and it's also quicker to write to them as well, using any kind of SSD, but an NVMe SSD particularly. There shouldn't really be any compatibility issues if you're using Windows 10 and a fairly new PC, or indeed Mac OS on a Mac. I haven't run into any yet. I have this formatted in Apple's SSD sort of formatting system, but you can format them any way you like, so there shouldn't really be any issue. The thing is that if you look at hard drives nowadays, you can get 8, 9, 10 terabytes plus. So SSDs are still a lot more expensive, but I think the 2 terabyte sort of level seems to be a sweet spot at the moment. And it certainly gives you a lot more expansion to save more files. In total, I actually use around 5 terabytes on my day-to-day machine, and I think this is a good way of going. I think in future I'll move to another NVMe SSD once I decide that I'm going to sort of archive this 2.5-inch one, as the read speeds and write speeds are just so much faster. But in all honesty, even this Samsung EVO 860 is really good when I'm using it in my Mac. So basically, I just wanted to take you through my more cost-effective way, because as I said, if you buy something that's pre-made, for instance, the Samsung T6 could be an option for you as well. You know, you're going to be paying 20% more, sometimes even more than that, to get it pre-built, whereas buying a cheap NVMe SSD case plus a nice NVMe SSD to put in it is a lot cheaper and a lot more cost-effective, and will still get you great performance. So yeah, that's just a short little video. I just thought I would highlight that because I was speaking to a couple of friends about it, and not all of them knew that it was an option to just sort of put your own one together with PC parts, essentially. And as much as I bought these from Amazon, there can be some great offers on websites such as eBuyer, so it's definitely worth shopping around. If you have any questions about what I've been doing, excuse the bells, let me know. I'm happy to comment and try and help you out. Equally, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.